Good morning, Ma'am Coralde. My name is J. Anthony Bisimini, Group 2 Reporting. And my topic is sexual self. Development of the sex characteristics and the human reproductive system. Based on my summary reporting, it is contains a characteristic of the woman and men or male sex. And what else will develop this characteristic of being sexually to produce a child, and are the details about the human sexual reproduction system. Six characteristics is defined to the understanding of six characteristics as each person's physical features relating to the sex, including genitalia and other sexual and production. The six characteristics refers to the presence of the physical characteristics of each person who is involved in the sexual reproduction, and it also refers to the presence of the sexual function. So, the essential features of the human reproduction are, ito yung kung paano nagkakaroon ng pagbuo ng bata sa sexual. So, ito yung mga function kung paano nabubuo ang pagkakaroon ng sexual characteristic ng babae at lalaki. Una, liberation of the ovum or egg reproductive cycle. Second is internal fertilization. Ito yung pangloob ng pagbuo ng bata. And 3 is transport of the fertilized or pagdala ng ovum o sa matres. 4 is implantation. And 5 is the formation of the placenta and maintenance. Ito yung pagbuo ng inunan or hindi pa naisilang ang bata. And 6 is the birth of the child. Ito yung kapanganakan. And lastly, sucking and care of the child. Ito yung pagsususo ng bata.
Good day, Ma'am. I am Arlene G. Gonzalez from Group 3, and now we will tackle about the female reproductive system that composed of the clitoris, the vagina, the uterus, the fallopian tube, and the two ovaries. The lower part of uterus is called cervix, a passageway between uterus and the vagina that expands during the childbirth. So, ang ovary ay responsibilidad ng paggawa ng egg cell at hormones at progesterone at estrogen. And egg cell ay kailangan para mabuo ng isa itong haploid cell. Ibig sabihin, mayroon itong half number of chromosomes. At ang kalahati ay mula sa male. Ang estrogen ay isa sa mga dahilan ng pagbabago ng katawan ng isang babae. Kapag siya ay nasa puberty stage or sexually matured na, nagbabago ang katawan ng babae. Ang progesterone naman ay ang naghahanda para sa pagbubuntis at sa mammary gland para sa lactation. At ang parehong estrogen at progesterone naman ay importante para sa menstruation ng mga babae. Kaya kada month ay may regla tayo. Yung uterus naman ay isa sa pinakamalaking organ ng reproductive system. Dahil dito, mapupunta ang fertilized egg na kalaunan ay magiging fetus o bata. That's all.
Male reproductive system. sexual arousal and erogenous zone. What turns people on? What is sexual arousal and erogenous zones? Human sexual arousal is a complex. It may be produced by direct stimulation of the body, erogenous zone on the area of the body that provide pleasure. Erogenous zones are areas of the body which are highly sensitive and productive sexual response when stimulated. These include that gently, genitals, mouth, breast, ear, arms, and the lesser degree, the entire surface of the body. One of the most basic forms of sexual stimulation is masturbation or self-stimulation that cause sexual pleasure or orgasms. Other sexual activities such as intimate kissing, cuddling, nicking, petting, or touching the erogenous zones may be uniquely important to sexual arousal. In many species, sex arousal is closely tied to variations in hormonal levels. In humans, however, hormones play less of a role. In one sense, the brain is where sexually desired originates and where sexual behavior is controlled. Cognitive factors, those play an important role in sexual arousal in humans. In other words, sexual fantasies play a significant role in sexual arousal. Many believe that compared with human, men think a lot sex more often because they report more frequent sex fantasies and more frequent feelings of sexual desire. Nevertheless, women tend to place more emphasis on emotional closeness with a love than a man do. Overall, women and men have equal potential for sexual arousal, and women are no less physically responsive than men.
Love. Romantic love includes a complex combination of different emotions such as fear, anger, sexual desire, joy, and jealousy. So when we say romantic love, it has the feeling of being in love, and there are different emotions, and these are fear, anger, sexual desire, joy, and jealousy. So without these emotions, you can call yourself as in love. So fear. You have the fear that maybe one day he or she will leave you. Anger. So in every relation, there is anger, and this brings to a fight. Sexual desire. It is having a desire in having sex. So joy, of course, you're happy in a relationship and happy to be with your loved one. Jealousy. You can't escape the reality that in every relationship there isn't jealousy. So if your partner is having a conversation with in other girls or in other guy, it is something, and if there's something that triggers you, it calls jealousy. So expect that there is jealousy in every relationship. So some of these emotions may be also sources of suffering. In the context of the interpersonal relationships, psychologist Robert Sternberg suggests that there are three components of love. Intimacy. So, when we say intimacy, having loving trust and support, accepting and sharing your partner's feeling. So, having a partner that always stays by your side. Passion. When we say passion, it is something that you have. So, for example, you have the passion or the eagerness to be with your partner. Having a passion to stay in love. So, the last one is the commitment. So, it is a pledge to something in the future. For example, you have committed to protect her. You commit to be with her. Commit not to make her cry. Commitment helps couples stay happy. So, romantic love has a strong components of sexual attraction and infatuation. So, lust is driven by the desire for sexual gratification. So, lust, it is sexual desire. So, in every relationships, there are people who want this sexual desire and there are people who are not.
Sexual orientation. Sexual orientation refers to a person's sexual identity anchored on what gender they are attracted to. The most common sexual orientation in which one is sexually attracted to members of the opposite sex is called heterosexuality. Homosexuality, on the other hand, is one orientation of one who is sexually attracted to same sex. Homosexual males are referred to as gays, while homosexual females are referred to as lesbians. Bisexuality is an orientation where one attracted to both opposite and same sex. Theories of the origins of sexual orientation look at both the biological makeup of the individual and the environmental influences on his or her orientation. Some explanations for homosexuality and bisexuality are biological in nature, suggesting that genetic factors such as hormones and certain neutral system may also play a role in sexual orientation. Nevertheless, research studies on the biological causes of homosexuality are not conclusive. Reinforcement and observational learning might also affect an individual's sexual. So, sexual orientation refers to who you are sexually attracted to or who you want to be in a relationship with. Sexuality exists on a spectrum both in who we are attracted to and how we want to be physical with our partners. It's common start exploring our sexuality on our own with partners when we are teenagers and young adults. It's also common for our sexual identity to evolve over time as we grow and have new experiences. Whether you are questioning your sexuality, considering coming out about your sexuality, or trying to support a friend who is questioning their sexuality and understanding sexuality of our own sexual identity is an important part of getting to know ourselves and forming healthier relationship with others.
Sexually transmitted infection or STIs. and early pregnancy. Sexually transmitted diseases or sexually transmitted infection or STIs are generally acquired by sexual contact, the bacteria, viruses, and or parasites that cause sexually transmitted diseases may pass from person to person, and blood, semen, or vaginal and other bodily fluids. HIV can cross the placenta during pregnancy and infect the baby during delivery. So, based on my summary topic reporting about the STIs, it contains the knowledge about sexually infections or STIs, where can you find out why there is a sexual diseases or infections, such as a person who is sexually assaulted of birth, who usually has infections.
Methods of contraception and reproductive health law. Over the years, sexual activities have become restricted. Premarital sex is not accepted. Over the past several decades, there has been a gradual trend toward initiating sex at an earlier age. Alarmed by the rising cases of HIV, AIDS, and early pregnancy cases among Filipinos, some government officials are calling for stronger programs of sex education that include information the different about forms of contraception. What is contraception? Contraception refers to methods that are used to prevent pregnancy. One common method of contraception is the use of condoms, called condoms, which can also prevent some STIs. Other common method of contraception that available in the Philippines is intrauterine device or IUD. IUD is a tiny device made of flexible plastic that is inserted in the uterus to prevent pregnancy. Birth control injectables that are given every 3 months to women. Oral contraceptive pills, which are taken every day, and withdrawal method. In calendar method, number of days in each menstrual cycle is recorded, and the couple avoids sex during the fertile period. On the other hand, cervical mucus method, also called the billing ovulation method, is a type of natural family planning method based on careful observation of mucus patterns during the course of the menstrual cycle. What is mucus patterns? The mucus patterns may help in determining when a woman is most likely to conceive or not. As pointed out earlier, however, abstaining from several intercourse is the best method in preventing pregnancy and sexually transmitted infection or disease. Studies show that contraceptive use is low, particularly among sexually active adolescents, those the Responsible Parenthood and Reproductive Health Act of 2012, also known as Reproductive Health Law or RH Law, guarantees universal access to methods of contraception, fertility control, sexual education, and maternal case. The RH Law provides for the prevention and treatment of HIV, AIDS, and other STIs and STDs, especially since the number of HIV cases among youth is rising. Further, the RH Law aims to keep couples and women especially well informed about available family planning and methods that they can fairly use depending on their needs and beliefs. It also aims to promote awareness among adolescents and youths on sexually and reproductive health through proper sex education.